Hi, this is Betty of Betty's Odd Treasures, and I have been getting some requests to do some more screen painting. And the situation that we've been in, I'll be honest with you, I have not done any screen painting. I have done some other things, but hopefully I can do a painting today that'll help you all through with your screen paintings as well. I do have one that I done some time ago of sunflowers, and they're big sunflowers right in. See if I can turn you around a little bit so you can see them in a screen, a regular screen. So that's what we'll try to do today. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to take another screen. We'll take this one away, and I have a plain screen. And the plain screen, first thing we need to do is we need to get some paint on it. You don't need to see me as much as you need to see what I'm doing. So I think this will work, I'm hoping. Now, if you do want to see what I'm putting on, I have white paint, and it's pretty thick. So I got me a little bit of paint extender. This just makes the paint go on a lot easier. I don't have my little helper anymore helping me with these videos, so it makes it kind of difficult with me doing the moving of the video, of everything, and trying to paint as well. Of course, she's not allowed to come see me because of this situation, and she's doing really good. She graduated this year, but she didn't get to go to her graduation. She just went in and picked up her diploma. And of course, we're proud of her. We'll get to see her before the summer's over, maybe. It's been about 3 or 4 months, and my husband and I have just stayed inside and done what we were told to do, because both of us, our immune systems is not real good, so that's what we got to do. Okay, and I'm going to just paint this all over, so I'll pause you all a moment. Now, you do realize, let me show you this before I pause, that back here I have a black cloth on the back so I can see what I'm doing. See my hand there? The black cloth is just hooked by some clamps on the back, so we can see what we're doing as we're going along. Okay, now, and I gotta fix that. Okay, so we'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, we're back with you, and I've got my screen all painted, and I want to make sure too that when you painted your screen, you should go up and get, now this is actually an old screen out of my house that I have here. I've told you that you could do the old screen, so I thought, well, I'd do this one on an old screen. But if you take your paintbrush and paint around the silver up here too, because my silver is kind of pitted, it makes it look a little nicer. And these little clips that I'm holding that cloth on with that I was telling you about, they're just those alligator clips that you use for your papers and stuff, I guess. Okay, so now we got that much going. Okay, so I wanted to bring you down and show you my palette again. Okay, so I put out that glazing that I was telling you about to make my paints a little thinner. It was golden glazing, and it's a slow drying exterior, so it does help and give you a little bit of time to work things. And then this was the white that I used. I used Liquitex Heavy Body White. And all the other colors that I have put out are Grumbacher Academy Arts. And that was the yellow medium that we're going to use in our flowers. I also have a brown. This one's saying Burnt Sienna, but that'll be our brown that we'll use. And then I like to put in a little bit of red in, because that'll give it a little bit of an orange with the yellow. And then the last one I've got out here is blue. And we're going to use some, this one's called Hooker's Green. It's kind of a funny name for it. But I don't know what, yeah, there we go. Didn't think I was going to get it open. And this will be the stems and all that we'll use. Whoops, good bit came out of that. Okay, so you've seen all of the different colors that we're going to be using. Now, by me having this other screen, I've already got a pattern. But what you could do, you could either do this or you could just look at the pattern and go from that. But if you had something that you wanted to put behind it, the way this screen works, it's really easy then to just take this, stick this back behind, and then you could actually, well, you can't see it real good, but you could trace off. Let's put that black down, that ought to help. You could trace off exactly where the sunflowers are. So, can you see it? There you go. What we'll do is we'll just take chalk. And if we want to make our sunflower here, somebody told me the best way to make a sunflower, and it stuck in my mind all this time, is to draw this center like a football. It does kind of look like a football, doesn't it? So, and I want that to be, let's see, I got that over on that side. So if we do it over there, maybe we should have it up about 6 inches or so, but it ain't no really science to it. Like I said before when we was painting this, we can always change it. Now see my little oval here? That's going to be the center of this flower. And then I'll come over to this one and we'll make a smaller football here for this flower. And then if we want a little flower up here, this is going to just be a little one. And you can kind of give an idea of where your stem's going to go. And one comes out like this, and that would be another little oval. Okay? Okay, so we do the oval here. Then we come over to this little one and do an oval. And then this is just a little blossom that hasn't blossomed out yet. But you could, if you had something to trace, see, you can trace it right through there. It makes it nice. There's a leaf. Then you don't have to sit and figure out where all your leaves is going to go and if you got them in the right places and if you want to do something else to it. What we're going to do now is we'll start applying the paint to those ovals. And I've got some blue on this. Whoops, almost painted the wrong screen. All right, so I need a little bit of blue up in here because we got some sky behind it. Go ahead and paint that in. This is my first time using this iPod. I may have to end up getting my husband to help me with this. It's kind of difficult to do both. And I don't think I told you that when you're putting that white on, if you get some places that the white clogs up in the holes, sometimes you can just take your brush and go across it real good and it'll go away. But if that doesn't work, you can always take a pen, a needle, a pen like that, and take it and just go right into each one of those holes. Now, as far as the brushes go, this here is a nice stiff brush that I'm using. It's good to have them stiff because your good brushes are made out of like a nylon. And when you use it and rub this, you rub all of your hairs and stuff away and make them all go in all directions. So you don't want to use really good brushes. You want to use something that you know, you can really scrub with because this is really good for scrubbing. Okay, so now this is our brown that we was talking about putting in the center and making our footballs. And I can't even see my football. I can see this little one here, so I'm going to do him like that. And I think I had another one down here that was kind of like that. As you can see, I'm not doing anything really fancy. It kind of looks like a football. Now, just to get a feel for how these things are going to go, I'm going to go up and get a little bit of the green. See the green? This is that green. And then this way, it gives you an idea of how this is going to hook on. This will be the stem coming down to this one. And let's see, we had another one kind of going out like this into a flower. And then this one will need a stem too. And this big one down here, we're just going to kind of let him float like he don't even have a stem. Yeah, we have definitely had some trying times, haven't we? I tell my husband it was a real wake-up call for all of us, that's for sure. So anyway, we'll have a leaf coming out here like this, and you just make a little leaf, because when we do our second coat, you know, they always get a lot nicer. Okay, so that's kind of the beginning of that. I guess I need to get some of those petals going. What I'm doing now is rinsing my brush out in the water, and then I'll dry it off. These petals, then we're going to use yellow, probably a little bit of red in with it too to give it a little bit darker color. Okay, can you still see that? Okay. And then when you're doing these petals, it's not hard to do. You just push down with the point of your brush and pull in. And then you do another one and pull in. And that'll make a petal for you. These screens are so much fun, and I've gotten a lot of comments on them that I was sorry I couldn't get back to everybody and get one of these out before now. But I have been doing some stuff. I'm trying to get rid of some of my treasures, as I call them, because I just got too many. Hate to say that, but I do. I have too many treasures, and I don't want to burden my children with having to do something with them if something would have happened to us. But anyway, so if you want to check me out on that Betty's Odd Treasures, I definitely am putting a lot of stuff out for sale. I'll probably even have some of my screen paintings out there if you're interested in them. Now right here, I think I'm just going to go over this stem, because remember I told you he was going to kind of float out here by himself anyway. So we got him going like that. And then we'll close this one up down here with another one. You can do them like they're just back over that brown a little bit. They haven't come out all the way. Okay. He's looking like a sunflower, but we're not finished with him yet, because we got to put on several more layers in order to get him to look good. And, you know, I was thinking that these would be nice for you to put onto your front door where you've got a screen. Why couldn't we take them and just put them right onto our front door? Okay, now we're over to these. Over here, we're going to be doing the same thing, but they might be a little smaller. have tried to grow sunflowers, and for some reason, you can grow all kinds of stuff, but my sunflowers don't do so good. I don't know what the deal is. I love to feed the birds, so I wished I could get them to grow so I could not have to buy my bird seed. Talking about a garden, I was raised on a farm, so these crazy times that we're having, I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to go out and plant me some potatoes. But I didn't have any, well, I'm over 70, so I couldn't go out and plow a garden. That would be ridiculous. So I thought, well, I think I will just get some of my biggest flower pots. I have a lot of flower pots, so I got all these big flower pots. And I cut my potatoes in half, and I took them out and I planted them in the flower pot. Well, yesterday I saw some deer come up, and I thought, I wonder if they're going to be getting into my flower pots and getting my potatoes. But I checked, and they didn't. They didn't bother my potatoes, so that's a good thing. But they really are growing. And another little dumb thing I did, I thought, okay, if I can grow potatoes that good, see how I'm doing now? I'm putting some more brown on, and that kind of holds the flour all together. If I could do potatoes that easy, I took out a piece of tomato and I laid it in a flower pot. Now I'm saying a slice of tomato, just sliced it like you would for a hamburger. And I got tomatoes growing. So I'm going to have tomatoes and potatoes. Now my strawberry I'm not sure about, because I tried to just plant a regular strawberry and I haven't seen it yet. But I'll definitely let you know if it decides to come up. But you never know, what they have to have their seeds come from someplace, so I figured that was worth a try. Okay, now he's going to have a little green cap down here at the bottom on him, because he's a little tinier than that one. Okay. All right, we're about done with the flowers, except for the second layer, and then I'm going to have to pause a little bit and let this dry to get that second layer going. But before we do, let's put some kind of a little bud coming out on this one. We didn't get it done. And I think all I did with it was I put a little brown there, and then I just put out a little. No, I don't like that. I'll have to put more yellow in that. Like he's just starting to bud out. Then you can take a little bit of green and put on there, and it makes it look like a little bud, like this one up here did. And then we'll put some white highlight down the stem. And in the middle of the stem, I just barely tap my brush into a little bit of white. It's got white, green, and the yellow on there. That'll give it a little bit of a feel. But I still, the next layer will really make it pop out, so you'll see the difference in it. So, with that, I think we've gotten a pretty good start, don't you? And hopefully you've been able to keep up with me. If not, I hope you have some type of a device that you can stop and go. And that's how I learned. So, it's an easy way to do these things. So, and I watch videos all the time. And you learn from everyone that you watch. So, remember, though, to check me out on that Betty'sOddTreasures.com and see if I have any goodies that you might want. Some of them, of course, I'm selling them. And if you see something you really think you need, just write me in a price and we'll see what we can do. Hi, this is Betty back again. A while back I did make a video and I explained about the screens that it seemed back in Baltimore, Maryland, was where people couldn't afford to buy their curtains. And now this was back in the early 1900s, I assume. And so somebody got the wise idea to paint on the screens, which was really a great idea because, as it turns out, with the screens, you can see out because of the little holes in them, and people cannot see in. All they see is your lovely painting that you have done. Now, like with our sunflowers that we're doing today, you put that up on your window and all they're going to see when they come by is those sunflowers, but you're still going to be able to see them if they're looking in your windows. So I wanted to mention that to you because I did have a nice lady from Baltimore thank me for mentioning it, and I always think it's nice that you know, people are so considerate and seem to enjoy other arts and crafts that other people share. I know I do. I watch videos all the time. Okay, so now I guess with that said, we'll get back on with this one. If you haven't seen that first video, you might want to go back to it and check it out, and then you'll understand this one maybe a little bit better too. I'm really sorry that it took me so long to get back to it. As you can see, my hair has gotten long. I haven't been able to get out a haircut, but hey, life is good, and I'm just glad that we're doing as well as we are. And you all keep staying safe as well. Okay, now let's get back to our painting here. Just get us a lot of that good old yellow there and go out and kind of make petal. I do one stroke down and one stroke around, and that kind of makes the petal. Okay, he looks pretty good, I think. What do y'all think? Let's get a little yellow in the middle of this one, too. Down here at the bottom of this one over here, I'm going to try moving that over a little bit. There we go. I wanted to put in a good size leaf because we don't have nothing here showing it having any leaves. See how I did that? I just drew a little V down there. Now we'll take some green and yellow. I'm just going to let it stick right back in there beside of that petal. And once it dries a little bit, then I'll come back and put more onto it. Okay, well I think we got our leaves looking pretty good. And we need to put some more bright colors in over here. Go right over that and make it look like that stem is behind it. Now I'm going to go in with that little bit of black again and make our little seeds. If we grow sunflowers, we've got to have the seeds for the little birds. And if you think it's getting too dark, you can always tone it down a little bit. Let's see what this will do for this. This was a bronze or something, and I thought might look good, make it really stand out. There we go. Let me put a little bit over in here so it's not all so solid. Help make it look like the veins in the leaves. Okay, what do you think? Does it need anything more? If you wanted to make it look a little fuller in there, you could take and just take your brush around. And it looks like more little petals getting ready to come out. Okay, well, I think we're going to call it quits on that. I think it looks pretty good. What do you think? I hope yours looks that good and that you're able to take it and put it on your windows, and so you'd be able to let the neighbors see your pretty flowers. But, of course, when you look out, you can see your neighbors, and it blocks them from seeing in your window. It is a really nifty idea, and it's dark now, or I'd take it and put it on a window and let you see how it works. Maybe I'll get a chance to do that tomorrow. I do hope that you all have enjoyed the video. I've had a time trying to get it made. And everybody, check out my treasures on Betty'sOddTreasures.com. I plan to have more information and more on my Etsy account too, because I am going to be going ahead and trying to downsize some of my treasures, as I call them. Anyway, this has been fun. I hope everybody stays safe and stays inside and follows the rules the way we were supposed to, with the mask and everything. My husband and I are in our late 70s going into our 80s, and we have not been out. We have neighbors that are taking care of getting our groceries and all, and we're so blessed by that. So we thank you very much, and I hope you have a great, blessed day. Bye for now.